is up, YouTube? And welcome back to Tactical Newbie, the channel where a newbie like me gets into all things tactical. With the funny movie introductions out of the way per usual, like we always do, let's get right into today's video. So today's video, I'm going to be doing yet another tactical comparison video, a part of the tactical comparison segment of videos that I do feature on the channel. For those of you that are not familiar with the tactical comparison segment of videos, it's essentially where I take a Gucci product and I cross-compare it to its budget-friendly clone counterpart, highlight the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between, do a full 360-degree review of both the products, and provide to you, the tactical-minded consumer, at least a possible budget-friendly option to at least replicate the Gucci counterpart. So that way, if you were looking to maybe pinch a couple pennies, or maybe kind of extend certain finances out a little bit further on a certain loadout or something that you might be looking to get, you at least have a budget-friendly alternative for something that is fairly comparable, to which you can at least go that route specifically. So that way you're not having to just spend a crap load of money for, in some instances, some overpriced nylon. But with all the rambling out of the way, let's get right into today's video. So today's video, we are going to be doing a tactical comparison for the Ferro Concepts MOLLE admin panel, and we're going to be cross-comparing it to its clone budget-friendly counterpart, which is the PETAC gear variant that you can get on Amazon. So essentially what we're going to be doing is highlighting both of these pouches. Again, basically doing a cross comparison of the good, bad, and ugly and everything in between. So let's just get these things right on the table so that way you guys can take a look. And with all the rambling out of the way, I will see you guys on the other side. Alrighty guys, and away we go. So first we'll start by taking a look at the Ferro Concepts MOLLE admin panel. Retail price is $64 plus tax and shipping and handling. And we'll be cross-comparing that to the PETAC gear budget-friendly clone alternative. Retail price is $27.95. We'll provide an overhead look of the two prices in comparison, so that way obviously you can see the difference in price. And keep in mind that you'll be paying $25.95 for any of the at least pouches that are not of the multi-cam color. You do pay $2 extra for the multi-cam. But from here, what we'll start is actually highlighting the Ferro Concepts pouch first. And basically what I'll do is kind of just review all of the at least specs coming directly from Ferro Concepts. Ferro Concepts states that the MOLLE admin pouch provides extra storage and organization of essentials. It has a large zipper opening with dual zipper pull downs, which allows for easy access to contents, yet doesn't allow the items to fall out easily. It's equipped with their laser cut 500D Cador laminate MOLLE straps and rigid tuck tabs to provide secure attachment to any MOLLE compatible interface while keeping weight and bulk down. It's integrated also with a 500D Cador laminate 2-inch slot for belt mounting to provide for a broader spectrum of applications with the pouch that you can use for both basically belts and or plate carriers. The addition of the 4-way stretch woven panel allows for more wiggle room and expansion if needed. It has internal organization, which includes a divider and elastic slots. Externally, it also has 2 elastic loops, which you can basically use for pens and or chem lights. A couple more specs coming from this. It says that this pouch is, of course, belt compatible for up to 2 inches wide belts. It's compatible with all MOLLE with at least 2-inch rows high and 4 columns wide. It first fits perfectly on the chest of the FCPC V5, which I plan intended on using it for. It has ambidextrous zipper openings, obviously dual zippers on both sides, elastic for chem lights or pens down at the bottom, which I highlighted a little bit earlier, and then it has loop Velcro for call sign patches or swag. It's also, of course, made in the USA. But all things considered, of course, quality-wise is about everything that you could expect coming from Ferro Concepts. Keep in mind that this pouch within itself is pretty much brand spanking new. I basically took this bad boy out of the wrapper just a couple days ago. So with that being said, you're kind of looking at the product as it would be delivered to you, brand spanking new right off the factory floor. So keep in mind when you're looking at the tactical comparison between the Ferro Concepts to the PETAC gear, keep in mind the PETAC gear I had for about over a year, and this thing was already MOLLE woven onto the PETAC Gear FCPC V5. All things considered, quality-wise, stitching across the board is very, very good. Obviously, like you would expect from Ferro Concepts, especially for the price. Obviously, what you're paying for Ferro Concepts for the $64 is top-notch QC as well as top-notch materials. So basically, in all aspects, you're essentially going to get exactly what you pay for in basically all avenues. But from here, what we'll do is we'll end up taking a look at the PETAC Gear variant. This one is in specifically multicam. As I did highlight, there is a $2 price increase for the quote-unquote multicam versus any of the other standard colors. The PETAC Gear variant of the MOLLE admin panel also has internally a row of internal 1-inch elastic with dividers to carry pens, pencils, chem lights, cell phone, multi-tool, spare pistol magazines, lights, paracord, maps, or other similar sized items. Externally, it has front hook and loop flap for basically patches, call signs, or anything like that. It keeps all your basically administrative and everyday useful items close at hand and is lightweight, low profile, basically a standard utility pouch. It has large YKK zipper opening with dual zipper pull down sides, obviously exactly the same as the Ferro Concepts variant that allows for easy access. It fits overall most plate carriers. Obviously, I think it's more intentionally designed for the FCPC V5. It also works with belts, same thing as the Ferro Concepts variant. Fits standard MOLLE/PAL systems and fits up to a 2-inch duty size belt. So again, specs wise across the board are almost pretty much exact. The general sizing of this pouch is 1 inch by 6.3 inches by 3.6 inches. And 4 by 12 and has 4 by 12 MOLLE field requirements. It states that it's built with 500D nylon that has, of course, loop fields, YKK zippers, military grade elastic internal organization. So basically, long story short, across the board, after reviewing both of these products, it's essentially almost in all aspects a direct clone of the Ferro Concepts variant. Stitching across the board is, of course, pretty top notch. I mean, comparatively, you may notice that obviously the stitching is of a better quality with the Ferro Concepts variant. But again, in some aspects and regards, you're going to get what you pay for when you're paying for obviously a cheaper clone variant that was mass manufactured in China. But I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to overall dimensions and overall quality, I haven't had any issues with the PETAC Gear variant as of yet. But keep in mind that the extensive training that I am doing with a lot of these products isn't anywhere in regards to what any of the professionals would be doing in any of this equipment. So obviously take my at least overall recommendations with essentially a grain of salt if you want to. But all things considered, the cross comparison between, again, these two products are almost comparatively across the board, almost pretty identical. When you're looking at the two products, which I'll actually highlight a little bit later as part of the video, you'll just see the general similarities and dimensions across the board. But as I did highlight, the material, at least to the touch, feels almost exact between both the Ferro Concepts and the PETAC Gear. Both are, of course, using, at least as they state, 500D Cordura, laminate, and a bunch of other different materials, which to be honest, a lot of these materials aren't very difficult to come by, especially in 2026. So it's not very difficult to replicate something as simple as a nylon pouch. But coming from here, we'll at least take a look at the two pouches side by side, so that way you can kind of get them all smushed together and you can get kind of a mock comparison of overall dimensions between the two pouches. Now, as you can see, just by looking at it, both the pouches, at least overall dimensions, are pretty much exact between comparisons of the Ferro Concepts versus the PETAC Gear. But one thing that you will notice that's kind of the biggest highlight difference is the actual zipper tabs. Ferro Concepts have this nice kind of composite plastic / rubber While the PETAC gear has more of just kind of more like a nylon, just a standard string with just kind of like rubber wrapped around it and kind of burnt on it. Aside from that, if you were to take the tags off of both of these products and basically hand somebody that didn't know any better, I mean, you would probably be able to pull the wool over their eyes for the most part because of how exact that these two products are comparatively. Again, the main thing to take in consideration is you're paying $64 for the Ferro Concepts admin panel, while $27.95 for essentially the Amazon clone copy. So essentially you can buy two of these things for the price of what you would be paying for the Ferro Concepts. Actually, probably 2.5. But all things considered, like I said, this is the whole point of the price, at least the tactical comparison segment of videos, is to basically highlight to you guys at least budget-friendly alternatives and options between the two products, so that way you can at least hopefully make a, an honest decision on what route you want to go, whether you want to go the Gucci route. Keep in mind, like I said multiple times in multiple videos up to this point, you're going to be getting a better overall QC and overall customer service going through Ferro Concepts, but inversely, you're going to be saving quite a few dollars going through the PETAC gear variant through Amazon, and I believe they sell them on AliExpress too. But it's really just a matter of where you want to go with your specific loadouts, especially when you're looking at the internal, at least, separation or dividers between both of these products. Like I said, I mean, to the naked eye, it's almost impossible to really determine the differences. I mean, if you really want to kind of boil down to the minutia and you really want to hammer home on like just a little micro like idiosyncrasies between the two, then of course you can pinpoint certain things. But down the line, I mean, both of these, at least, pouches serve almost the exact same purpose. They are almost dimensionality-wise exactly the same. And again, to the naked eye, if you were to flip-flop both of them, rip off the tag, I think, anybody that isn't like, balls deep into this, clone game, or just the tactical gear game within itself, wouldn't necessarily know the difference right off the rip, other than, like I said, the highlight of the zipper tabs. That's really kind of the main dead giveaway between the two. But all things considered, like I said, both of these products are, at least across the board, fairly comparable. Like I said, you will get kind of the pros with the cons with both products, either paying top dollar for the Ferro Concepts, or maybe not necessarily getting as up to point QC as you would get with Ferro Concepts going the PETAC gear route. But all things considered, I was pleasantly surprised with the PETAC gear variant. We'll see obviously how the Ferro Concept ones hold up, which I'm sure it will not disappoint me in any regard. But all things considered, yeah, that's pretty much the tactical comparison for both of these products. And yeah, with all that being said, that's pretty much it.
Hey, there he is. The big man's back.
Hey.
Roop, come on in here. I want to spitball something with you.
All right, can you give me a minute, Stan? I'm just going to run to the men's room.
I'll join you. I heard about your honeymoon. Just terrible. I knew that girl was a slut the second I met her.
Yeah, well, it's kind of complicated. I mean,
Hey, don't make excuses. She's a dime store hooker, and she always will be. Just put it behind you. Speaking of which, you ever hear of a guy named Leland Van Loo?
Leland Van Loo, yeah, Australian guy, right? Was on the cover of Forbes last year?
Exactly. Yeah, he started one of those high-tech modems, scrotum. God only knows what they do companies anyway. Jesus Christ. They want to take the company public, and if he wants to remain the CEO of a publicly held company, guess what he needs?
Life insurance.
Bingo was his name.
All right, you want me to check him out?
Yeah. There's just one catch.
Yeah?
This Van Loo has a reputation as a cowboy. Apparently, he's one of these extreme sports nuts. So, it's a long shot, but if you can pull this thing together, might be a lot of dough in it for us. Maybe a little extra bonus for you, help you with those house payments.
All right, well, let's make sure he checks out first. And
You see, this is why you're the only one I can trust with these jobs. I was worried that you've been through hell and back with that Hua wife of yours. You sure you need some more time off?
Mm-hmm. I'm good.
Absolutely sure?
Yeah, no, fine.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, good things.
Alrighty guys, I hope you liked the video. Of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Down below, let me know what you think of this tactical comparison video, a part of the tactical comparison segment of videos, again, that I do feature on the channel. Feel free to at least jump on my Tactical Newbie page if you want a reflection of all the different products that I have reviewed thus far in the tactical comparison segment. Specifically, I do have a playlist on my page, so feel free to take a look at that and you'll get a full rundown specifically of all the different products to this point that I have at least featured on the channel. Keep in mind that I will be featuring a lot of other components moving forward in basically the early part, middle part, and even late part of 2026, as well as trying to integrate some other stuff. I'm going to be doing some reviews on some of the budget / knockoff optics that I did get fairly recently that I highlighted on some of the tactical haul segments of videos. Just a little highlight with the tactical haul segment of videos. I'm no longer going to be doing long form featurettes of the tactical haul segment. I actually basically want to allocate most of my long form, at least videos, for actual things as opposed to unboxing, but I will still be showcasing a lot of those products on the tactical haul area in the shorts. So if you do start noticing that over the prolonged period of the basically next couple weeks, months into 2026, if you start noticing the fact that basically you're not seeing any more tactical haul videos popping up, at least in long form format, and you're actually this far along in the video, just keep in mind that I still will be representing them in shorts. But that way, as products do come in, I'll be highlighting them one by one, as opposed to getting a collection of these products and then highlighting them in a long form video where I basically unbox everything together. But with all the rambling out of the way, I will touch on the same stuff that I normally touch on at the end of every video. I do have a Twitter /X. Feel free to hit the link down in the description down below if you want to follow me there. I also do have a Patreon. Feel free to hit that link down in the description down below if you want to contribute any sort of patronage to the Tactical Newbie channel. Keep in mind, any sort of patronage down the line across the board helps immensely to the Tactical Newbie channel because, as I've basically clarified at the end of almost all of my videos, I do basically fund everything that is Tactical Newbie with my own money from my own job. So basically everything that you see that's either in a review or in a tactical comparison or a highlight of a specific loadout is 100% self-funded by myself. Do not have any sponsors, do not have anybody giving me gear to highlight and or review. So with that being said, a lot of my own money goes into these products to show you, the viewer, the tactical-minded, at least consumer, to give you possible options on how to save yourself money. So of course, any sort of contribution via Patreon does immensely help. But with all the rambling out of the way, I will see you guys next week.